All right, well, welcome back. Today I have Melhem, CEO and founder of Reboost. Thank you for being here. So let's just get this started with a quick background. What inspired you to create Reboost?
Okay, so hello, thank you for having me first. What inspired me to create Reboost? Uh, Actually, it didn't pop into my head directly. I didn't study software development back in college. I actually studied civil engineering, and I didn't like that aspect of work. I didn't like it at all. I tried to teach a little bit, but I wasn't happy at all. I always wanted to do something for my own, but I never knew what. So after doing some research online, what can I learn, new skills to work for my own? I started learning web development at first, and it was great. It was amazing for me because if you compare it to civil engineering, when you want to build a building, it would take you years to see your results, or at least months. But while doing
Yeah,
web development, at first you can see it directly ahead. And I was really good at it, so I started learning more and more and more. One thing led to another, and when I was ready to start working and getting paid for my work, I was exploring jobs and working with companies, but I wasn't happy. I didn't want this to be like another job, 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or whatever. And I decided to start getting on my own. Started a little bit with freelancing. When things grew well, I opened Reboost.
awesome. And then for those of the viewers that do not know, what exactly is Reboost?
Okay, so Reboost is a software development agency. We work on mobile apps, web apps, even desktop apps. We have multiple solutions, multiple niches, but for us, any entrepreneur or founder looking for building an MVP to dive into the tech world is our favorable client. We love bringing innovative ideas into life, and recently we've been working more closely with AI and the AI integrations following the trend.
Awesome. And then being the CEO, can you share a little bit about your role and how you fit into the bigger picture?
Okay, this is a tricky part. So since day one at Reboost till last month, I was wearing many hats. I was working in coding, in design, in marketing, in sales, doing everything. Especially at the very beginning, because you don't have this budget to hire as many team members as you want, because ideally
Yeah,
you have one member doing each task. But that's not the case in startups. And was very hectic for me. So actually, this month I decided to take a pause to stop taking a new projects and to reorganize everything because we reached a growth level where we are able to bring on more team members. So and we can't bring on new projects at the moment because this would affect the quality. The number one thing for us is quality and client satisfaction because it's what made us who we are. Because if the clients weren't happy, they wouldn't have referred us to other clients. We weren't relying on marketing at the very beginning. We were relying on the clients being happy and telling their networks about us and about how amazing our services were.
yeah. No, that's great. I do kind of want to get into a little bit of the leadership aspect here, since you are the founder and CEO. So, how do you approach goal setting and growth planning within your business?
Okay, so what I like to do is I like to break down those yearly goals into quarterly goals. So even then they will be broken down to monthly or sometimes weekly goals depending on the goal. That way we would always know what's needed to be done, what's needed to be achieved. Of course, we will be always monitoring and adjusting. For me, flexibility is a key. But knowing where to go is also very important because if you don't have a plan, if you don't know where you are going, you are always lost no matter what.
Yeah, that makes sense because then if you reach your monthly goals and you reach your quarterly, then you reach your yearly, and it all stacks on top of each other. And then with all of those goals, how do you keep your team aligned and motivated?
Okay, so to keep them aligned and motivated, the key thing is transparency at first. So they always know what's going on, how we are going, how much projects more we are bringing. I always tend to share the happy news. I try to hide a little bit of the bad news and negative sides to keep them motivated. Um, and the other key thing for me is the culture at Reboost. We don't have this old school management culture where I'm the boss and I get to tell you around what to do. No, we are all equal team members working on the same goal. That way, each member would feel more valued and would feel part of this journey at Reboost.
Yeah, so that like you let them know that their opinions matter. If they have something they need to say, they can say it and see how it would work out. I like that type of thinking.
Yeah,
Um,
they would respect you instead of being feared by you.
yeah, I would definitely. So, as far as growth goes, what have you found to be your most successful growth strategy? And are you right now focused on acquiring new clients, or are you trying to grow existing accounts right now?
Okay, so regarding the growth strategy, the most successful one was, of course, having AI into operation. When we started adopting AI tools to build projects, the client projects, this made this was a game changer for us. We were able to ship products much faster, 3, 4 times faster, and we would be able to give the a more competitive price for this client. So this allowed us to take more projects than usual and allowed us to build even better projects because AI helps you a lot with quality and with design and all of those stuff. Regarding the growth, as I've told you earlier, right now we're going with this exciting phase where we are focusing more on organization, we are focusing more on restructuring how the operations are so that we can reach a point where I don't wear many hats. We have, ideally, I want to reach a point where the entire operation process, the development process can work without me, and I'll be focusing more on sales, marketing, and strategy. Maybe a few years down the line, I aim to be completely detached from Reboost, having Reboost work entirely on its own and me focusing on something else.
Yeah, like a source of passive income there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good goal, good end goal. So let's get a little bit into the business insights. What do you think that does the best, and who would be your ideal client?
Okay, so we focus on what we do best is delivering cutting edge technologies. We bring innovative ideas into life. Of course, it's AI integrated, as we said, as we started doing so recently. We Our ideal client is, as I said earlier, like anyone, any founder or entrepreneur looking into investing in this tech world. He has to be passionate. They have to love this sector and believe in their idea. Plus they have to know, like, to have the know-how of how to operate and how to use this software that we provide or that we build for them. So anyone who's visionary and looking for innovative tech ideas is our ideal client.
Awesome. I think that's well said. And then, is there any major shifts you see in this industry? And if you have, how do you see that impact your business and maybe your growth strategy as well?
The major shift that we talked about earlier that started in around 2024, mainly this year, it's being more obvious, which is AI. It's
Yep.
changing everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's especially impacting the software development industry because Software developers are relying a lot on it, and that way it's even getting better at what it's doing. And it's not only about software development agencies. What everyone is saying, and what I truly believe, that anyone right now is not integrating AI somehow in their workflow will be out of business in the upcoming few years. So you're either working using AI or you're going to be left behind.
Absolutely. I agree. That is actually one of the more common answers we see here. That's how it's kind of affecting all industries. So I think that's a good point to have out there.
And
Um,
to add on this, like at the very beginning, we were very afraid. Like we didn't know what's going to happen. Are we going to be replaced? Are we going to lose
yeah,
our projects, our jobs? But it turned out it's very good for us. Like it made our life much easier. It made our products much better. So it's a real good thing.
yeah. No, I would agree. I'd say as long as you know how to use it to your benefit, so that you don't get left behind. I think it's a good thing as well. Um, so how do you guys currently find your leads and convert your leads?
Okay, so at the beginning we started off with the referrals only, as I mentioned. Later on, we started adopting CRM dashboards like Salesforce to follow up, to keep track and manage our clients. Uh, Around 2 years ago, I opened a profile on Upwork because I wanted more international projects. I wanted more exposure than just our network. And this was like really beneficial for Reboost. We have a lot of new clients, diverse clients from the entire world, and we have really good connections with entrepreneurs and people who wants to invest in this industries because of Upwork.
Yeah, and then do you also use Salesforce? You said, is that kind of how you maintain your clients, make sure you're on top of everything, make sure all their needs are met? Is that kind of you use that to follow up and uh, keep them happy?
Yeah, we don't rely heavily on Salesforce, but yes, we use the CRM to maintain our clients and to manage the relations. We also have a couple of sales personnels who aren't like full-time sales people at Reboost, but they help us out project based. So those are people who have really good connections in their area, lots of people who pitched them tech ideas because they work in the tech sector, and they would always refer Reboost. They would also help us a little bit, maybe with management, a little bit with operation as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, so what do you think would be one system or tool that you could not live without, or that, yeah, so you couldn't live without in your business? What's something you find very important?
Okay, I don't want to say AI anymore. In addition to AI, there's also Jira. I'm not sure if you know a little bit about Jira, but it's a project
Uh,
management tool. It allows you to track the progress. It allows you to see how everything is going. So simply by taking a close look at Jira, we would know that, okay, this project is going on time, or we have delayments, or we need to add few resources. Maybe we need to reorganize. So Jira keeps everything working smoothly for us without having us to be micromanaging every team member, every task. So you would know what needs to be done just by looking at your Jira board.
yeah, I mean, I think that makes perfect sense there. And then one of the last closing questions I would like to ask all my all the people that I get on the podcast with me, if I could give you a magic wand to improve one part of your business, what would that be?
That's an amazing question. Without hesitation, I would say marketing. I would say just wave that magic wand over marketing, have the marketing going smoothly, because I don't find myself in marketing. It's not my playground. It's lots stressful for me, and I'd like to focus more on maybe sales and strategy.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I don't not a huge expert on marketing either. It's a little bit out of my expertise. So with Reboot, this will be the last question here today. What are your goals or your vision for the next 6 to 12 months?
Okay, as I've said, right now we're doing the reorganization to have the operations go smoothly. After that, what we'd like to do to start taking on more projects and expanding to new countries or new industries. Right now, we are focusing on educational platforms, hiring platforms, e-commerce platforms, and AI native platforms. So we'd like to be working with other niches as well, but that would require us to work more on our sales and hire more senior developers to help us out.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's always good to stay organized, make sure you know nothing falls behind and you don't lose the quality of work like you said before. Um, all right, Melhem, I appreciate your time today. Where can they find Reboot or yourself?
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and then let me make sure I got this. So Reboost is just reboost.live.com, right? That's just the best way to find it.
It's reboost.live.
Reboost.live.
Yeah,
All right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today and thank you very much.
thank you. It was great having you, talking to you.